I got the heavy though.
What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hopefully you're having fun in the Iron Banner this week. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the lag. I've had some guys that are just unkillable, but for the most part it's been relatively clear. No different than standard 6s for me personally. But in this video I just kind of wanted to drop some advice for when you find yourself surrounded. Because in Iron Banner, that's inevitably going to happen. You're going to have these scenarios where there's guys on all sides of you, because it's 6s. It's just the nature of it. So this was one of my favorite kill streaks that I got last night. I pushed this guy, but then you can hear he pops his Radiance, and I've got a guy to my left using Mida against me. So I come over to the right, Sunsinger cuts me off, so I cut back to the left. I slide around cover, and then I hug this wall and just kind of walk around the corner. I'm just trying to keep them confused so that they can't get shots on me, and they're kind of trying to read their radar. But I get enough distance to make them back off, activate my super behind a box, which is kind of key. I get a nice double kill from the combustion, and then I come into the spawn here, and then I have this mysterious phantom bullet that goes right through the guy. Second one, I hit him, and suddenly this dude jumps in front of me, that Sunsinger. And I have to react quickly, and instantly I'm thinking, what's going to give me the best chance? This dude's got shots on me, I'm dead to rights. So just switch to the sniper rifle and go for that quick scope and manage to pull it off. So sometimes when you're surrounded, there's a few things there in that kill streak alone that I want to nod to and kind of elaborate on. First and foremost is your use of cover. And you're going to see another play here in a bit where it was all about the use of cover. So what you have to do is sort of pick which opponent you're going to try and because you want to whittle down the opposition. Obviously, if you're surrounded, you want to go down with at least a kill, so it's a trade. But let's see, another nice snipe here on that same Warlock. But yeah, so using your cover to limit those sightlines so that you're maybe only actively engaged with one person. Even though you're surrounded by people, you can make it so that only one guy can see you and you can only see one guy. So trying to manipulate the cover in such a way that you're sort of making that engagement limited to specific sightlines where, half the guys that are around you don't have line of sight. That's the key. You don't want multiple people shooting you at the same time. It's kind of a no-brainer. And cover is how you make that happen. The other thing that was a major factor in that kill streak was equipment and knowing my abilities. So you saw the grenade kill, you saw throwing knife kills, and those are all really important. Each subclass has, obviously everyone's got grenades, everyone's got melee abilities. Some of them are throwable, like the smoke bombs, like the throwing knives. Most of them are not. But just kind of understanding what those abilities do for you. So one of the things that you can do if you're surrounded and you're playing the Sunsinger class, for example, one of the things that you can do is use that Scorch Melee Overshield to your advantage. Make sure that you, at the right time, you're like, crap, I'm low health, I may go down, let me just poke this guy real quick. Doesn't matter if you kill him. So with the Scorch Melee Overshield, all you have to do is touch him with it. So here was a nice derpy, missed a lot of stuff, threw that trip mine on the wall, and as he pursues, he walks right into it. And then I'm surrounded, I see more red on the radar, I just pick one way to go. And one of the ways that you can get out of bad situations is finding all you gotta do is poke a hole in the wall, so to speak. You just gotta pick out one guy that you want to drop. And it's sort of like playing Red Rover. You just kind of find a weak spot and punch through it, and that's your ticket out. Another thing that's obviously a major factor when you're outnumbered and you're surrounded is a super activation. Sometimes guys will panic super, and if it's a roaming super, a lot of times that's the bad call when you're surrounded because people have multiple angles on you. So you could take the time to activate your super, and while you're doing the activation animation, you can be really, really vulnerable. Now you notice here I actually backed up and activated my golden gun using the stairs as cover. And that's huge. You got to make sure that I know it's reactionary for a lot of people just to activate that super, but it's really easy just to get gunned down before you have a chance to actually use it. So you want to maximize your super, and so sometimes when you're surrounded, it may feel instinctual to use it then, but it's actually a really bad time. You want to make sure that you've got a little bit of cover in front of you, unless you're using something like Storm Trance and you want to actually jump up over an opponent and activate it so that you get that landfall right on top of somebody. But you really you have to be mindful of what your super is and what its limitations are. That's a big factor, because panic supering is it's really instinctual, and you got to kind of curb those instincts. I saw that nice. I was trying to put a trip mine on the doorway, but that guy came out right as I threw it, and it just stuck him right on the thigh there, which is kind of funny. Don't forget, guys, Iron Banner can be a chore. Make sure you're having fun. I decided to pull out my Long Far Gone and start fusion rifling some peeps, and I was having a lot of fun doing it. So make sure you're keeping it fresh. It can get kind of repetitive and grindy if you're just in it for the gear. I know I got a really good HMG to drop, the Iron Banner HMG. I also had a really nice Iron Wreath drop at 318 from my rank 5 package, so it is potentially really worthwhile to level this stuff up, guys. So hopefully you have fun doing it, and maybe I'll catch you in there.